haunt to our houses as long as they live in our memories. So long as we remember our departed souls, our loved ones, they remain with us and we feel their presence in our houses. So now, without taking much time, we are going to begin with the text. Okay. Uh, Haunted houses. First of all, what poet says, all houses wherein men have lived and died are haunted houses. So all the houses where people have lived, okay. Okay, if you are confused between ki whether you have to write the option number or the statement also that is written there. So the most important thing is you have to write the option number. Definitely, very clearly, you should write the option number. And if you have time, you can copy the correct statement that is there in front of that option, or otherwise only option number is enough, right? Okay, so see the text. All houses wherein men have lived and died. All the houses wherever men or human beings have lived and they have died there. Okay, so those houses are the haunted houses. ऐसे सभी घर जिनमें कभी कोई लोग रहे हैं, भले ही अब उनकी मृत्यु हो गई है, तो लेकिन वो सभी घर जो हैं वो haunted houses हैं. So poet means to say that every house is a haunted house. कैसे? How we can say this? Through the open doors, the harmless phantoms, means ghosts or spirits, on their errands glide. Why? Because through the open doors, means through the doors, these harmless. So remember this thing, harmless phantoms is a kind of keyword. This must be known to you because Longfellow's phantoms or ghosts are harmless. They are very gentle. Okay. So these harmless ghosts, they enter through the open doors on their errands. Errands means their day-to-day work. Means when they were alive, they used to do some of the day-to-day work and they come in the gliding manner. So gliding manner refers to the, their soft movement, their very smooth movement. So these ghosts, they come through the open doors. They are harmless and they come to do some of their ordinary tasks. Ordinary tasks, you can say, means the task that they used to do when they were alive. तो ये जो घोस्ट हैं ये ओपन डोर से आते हैं, ये हार्मलेस घोस्ट हैं और ये अपने डे टू डे के कुछ भी छोटे मोटे काम करते हैं और उनका जो मूवमेंट है वो बहुत ही ग्लाइड यानी कि स्मूथ है. With feet that make no sound upon the floors. And they come with the feet, means in a very soft manner they come and they don't make any sound on the floor. So इन घोस्ट के आने पर उनके कदमों से कोई भी आहट नहीं होती है because they come in a gliding manner. So children, you may mark, the marking scheme is AB, AA, BB. Sorry, AB, AB, died and glide, doors and floors. So AB, AB, rhyming scheme is AB, AB. Okay. Next stanza says, we meet them at the doorway on the stairs. So here in this stanza, poet is trying to explain we means we, the inhabitants of the houses. Okay, घरों में रहने वाले जो लोग हैं, they meet them. Them means the ghost or the spirits. At the doorway, so we meet these spirits in the doorway, on the staircase, along the passage means the passages means the corridors, because from there they come and go. So we may meet them in any part of the house, whether this is the doorway, the staircase, the corridors. Okay. Impalpable impressions on the air. So these ghosts are intangible. Okay. Impalpable impressions means we cannot touch them on the air because they move in the air. We cannot touch them. A sense of something moving to and fro. So they simply pass a sense. They give a feel that something is moving to and fro. They simply give this kind of sense to us. Okay. So poet wants to say that These ghosts are harmless. They come silently, they go silently, they complete some of their tasks. They are impalpable impressions, means we cannot touch them, we can only feel them, we can only sense them as if something is moving to and fro, means here and there. Then come to the third stanza. There are more guests at table than the hosts. Now, as if some feast is going on. Okay. So, there in that feast, poet feels that at the table the number of guests is more than in reality the guests are present. Okay, so this way, poet wants to say that these ghosts are there present in the feast also. Okay, the guests who are invited by the host, they are limited in number, but more guests are there. Okay, the illuminated hall, the hall is brightly lit up, the hall is illuminated where the feast is going on, is thronged, and that hall is crowded. Thronged means crowded, and that hall is crowded with quiet, inoffensive ghosts. Quiet means they are silent, inoffensive, harmless ghosts. So these ghosts are there. They have crowded the hall, although they are not, acquiring any space. They are quiet and they are harmless, as silent as the pictures on the wall. So, simile is there, as silent as the pictures. These ghosts remain silent all the time. They are not the loud, shrieking ghosts. Okay, they are silent ghosts and they are as silent as the picture that is hanging on the wall. Children, till now, if the stanzas are clear, three stanzas I have taught, if the things are clear, please write yes in the comment box. Okay, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. Okay, then moving forward, the stranger at my fireside cannot see the forms I see. Now, poet says that there are some, forms. The stranger at my fireside, stranger may be the other guest who is there in the hall. He is sitting by the fireside, or we can say the fireplace. He cannot see the forms I see. I means here the poet. Okay, so poet says that the forms or some of the figures that I see are not visible to the other person who is sitting there by the fireside. Means something that poet can see is not visible to the other person. Okay, so sometimes it is said that I means poet, and perhaps he is also a member of the other world, or he is also a part of supernatural. Okay, so he says the forms I see maybe are not seen by the stranger who is sitting there by the fireplace, nor hear the sounds I hear, and at the same time the sounds, very low sounds, murmuring sounds, or very low whispering sounds I can hear, but they are not audible to the one who is sitting by the fireplace or maybe the other guests. Okay. He but perceives what is. He means here the guest. Okay. The stranger or the guest, he perceives means he experiences or he senses only what is physically visible. Okay. While unto me, although, so far as I am concerned, all that has been is visible and clear. So, to me, everything else is visible and clear. Means all the spirits who are moving here and there, everything is very much clear to me. Okay. सो दिस वे पोएट हैज प्रेजेंटेड अ काइंड ऑफ इमेज कि जो घोस्ट हैं उन्होंने उस पूरे हॉल को भर रखा है, जो कि बहुत ही ब्राइटली लिट हॉल है. अदरवाइज यूजुअली वी सी दैट घोस्ट आर शोन इन अ डार्क बैकग्राउंड, बट हियर द हॉल इज illuminated, well lit hall is there and the ghosts are there. They have crowded the whole room, and these ghosts are more in number than the guests who are invited by the host. Okay, and some stranger or maybe the guest who is there in the room, he cannot see these spirits. So somewhere poet wants to say, we can assume this thing also, that the persons who have memories, who have his loved ones in his memories, only that person can feel the presence of these ghosts. Okay, now come to the next stanza. What he says, we have no title deeds to house or lands. We have no title deeds. Okay, he says that no title deeds. We means here ghost. Okay, so ghost is saying, or these ghosts are saying, that we don't have any of the, title deeds, means any legal documents now we don't have related to these houses or lands, owners and occupants of earlier dates, although we were the owners and occupants of the earlier dates, means in past days, in the past we were the real owners, we were the occupants, we used to occupy our place in these houses, we were the inhabitants of these houses. Okay, from graves forgotten stretch their dusty hands. And now these ghosts stretch their dusty hands because now they are buried. Okay, now they are buried, and it is considered in Christian mythology or everywhere, usually it is considered that after death, we again, the human body mixes with dust. So that's why dusty hands. They stretch their dusty hands from their graves. Why they are stretching their hands? And hold in mortmain. Mortmain, again, their ownership documents is still their old estates. Estates means their property, because they still have their hold on this property. They still have hold on these properties or these estates in legal manner, we can say. So this is the literal meaning. But what poet wants to say, that these houses or lands which we possess now, in fact still they have the influence and the impact of our ancestors on them. So they are stretching their hands towards these houses or property, still they have their hold or maybe authority on these houses. This way poet wants to say that still they have their influence on this property. Okay, the spirit world around this world of sense floats like an atmosphere. The spirit world around this world. So, around this world, there is a world of spirits. Okay. World of sense means this physical world that we can sense through our senses, that we can feel through our senses, where we can see the things, where we can touch the things. Okay, so this is the world of sense where everything is visible, audible, and we can touch them, feel them. Okay, spirit world, that is invisible. So what he says, the spirit world is around this world of sense every time. The spirit world is there around this physical world, means we cannot separate our physical world from that spiritual world or the world of spirits. Floats like an atmosphere. Why we cannot separate it? Because the spirits, they float like an atmosphere, they roam, they in fact float in the atmosphere. Okay, and everywhere wafts means they pass in a very gentle manner, they pass through these earthly mists and vaporous dens, means even if the atmosphere is full of mist and dense vapor, even then they pass in a very gentle manner, a vital breath of more ethereal air. So, a vital breath, they are important, just like breath, okay, of more ethereal air that is very light. So these ghosts, they float in the atmosphere, they float everywhere, they pass in a very gentle manner, maybe through the mist, maybe through the dense or very, dense vapor, and they are very important, just like breath, and they live in a very light manner in the air or in the atmosphere. Okay, so now we come to the next stanza, next page. So watch this video till the end. You will be able to know so many, we will discuss the themes also of this poem. Okay. Now, these are the very complicated stanzas of this poem, you can say. Our little lives are kept in equipoise. What poet says that our little lives because human life is transitory or it is very short. That's why he's saying our little lives are kept in equipoise. जो हमारा छोटी सी लाइफ है that is kept in balance. Equipoise means balance. Okay. So if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it and please send yes if you have, write yes if you have understood the stanzas. Okay. So he says our little lives are kept in equipoise. Equipoise means balance. By opposite attractions and desires. How? Our lives are kept in balanced manner by opposite because we have opposite kinds of attractions and desires. Okay. He says that in human life the human life is full of so many attractions, so many desires, and they are in fact very opposite. Sometimes we desire for this thing and sometimes we desire for that thing. We attract towards so many things. We have so many innumerable desires. Okay. So the struggle of the instinct that enjoys. Instinct means something that we feel from our inside. Okay. So there is a kind of constant struggle in our heart, in our mind. So sometimes we have instinct to enjoy the worldly pleasures. Okay. And the more noble instinct that aspires. And sometimes we have the instinct to aspire for some spiritual or higher kind of desires. Is this clear? So just look at this stanza once again because this is not very simple stanza. क्या पोएट कह रहे हैं कि जो हमारी छोटी सी लाइफ है वो बैलेंस में रहती है. कैसे उस बैलेंस को मेंटेन किया जाता है जबकि हमारे मन में अपोजिट काइंड ऑफ अट्रैक्शंस और डिजायर्स होती हैं. Sometimes we desire for one thing and another time we desire for another thing. Sometimes we are attracted to something and another time we are attracted to something else. तो एक बैलेंस बना रहता है हमारी लाइफ्स में अपोजिट अट्रैक्शंस और डिजायर्स से. The struggle of the instinct that enjoys. So there is constant struggle between our instinct where we feel to enjoy worldly pleasures. Okay. And the more noble instinct that aspires, and sometimes we have the instinct to enjoy higher kind of aspirations, maybe the spiritual ones. Is this clear? If yes, please type yes. Okay. So poet says कि एक स्ट्रगल चलता रहता है हमारे अंदर अपोजिट डायरेक्शंस का, डिजायर्स का, और इसी तरीके से एक स्ट्रगल होता है हमारे इंस्टिंक्ट में. कभी हमारा इंस्टिंक्ट जो है वो वर्ल्डली प्लेजर्स को एंजॉय करने का होता है और कभी हमारे अंदर से हमें इंस्टिंक्ट होता है, हमें फील होता है कि नहीं, हमें एक ऊंची तरीके की चीज़ों को के लिए एक एस्पिरेशन डेवलप करनी है और हमें एक स्पिरिचुअल एक्सपीरियंस को गेन करना है. These perturbations, these perpetual jar. Okay. So he says these perturbations means the disturbances. Okay. So these disturbances, this perpetual jar. So this perpetual jar means maybe our mind or maybe our soul. So in our mind, in our soul, these perturbations are always there. These disturbances are always there. Perpetual means never ending. Okay. So this never ending condition of disturbances is always there in our soul of earthly wants and aspirations high. So our mind or our soul is filled with disturbances. Why? Because we feel ourselves disturbed because we have earthly wants. Earthly wants means we have desire for so many earthly things or materialistic things and aspirations high, and sometimes we aspire for higher kind of values, maybe some spiritual values. Okay, so this struggle is always there in our mind, in our soul. These disturbances are always there in our mind, in our soul. Sometimes we want earthly pleasures or earthly or materialistic things, and sometimes we aspire for higher goals. Come from the influence of an unseen star, and all these instincts, this kind of a struggle, our desire to enjoy worldly pleasures or our desire to aspire for higher values, all these things, all these this influence come from some other world, from some unseen star, means the star that we have not seen, means the world that we have not seen. So this kind of influence comes from some unseen, unknown star, an undiscovered planet in our sky, or maybe from some planet that we have not discovered yet, means some unknown place. So, this poem explores actually the world that is unknown to us, the world of spirits. Okay. And as the moon from some dark gate of cloud throws over the sea a floating bridge of light, and as the moon from some dark gate of cloud. So now poet imagines, this is actually imagery. This stanza is full of visual imagery, right? He says the moon from some dark gate of cloud. So metaphor is here. Moon peeps through the gate of cloud, means from behind the clouds, or the moon breaks through the clouds, okay, throws over, and from there, from behind the clouds, the moon throws over the sea a floating bridge of light. So a kind of bridge is cast there on the waves of the sea. Okay, the endless sea is flowing, and on its waves, the moonbeam is falling, and a kind of floating bridge is made there. Why floating? Because the waves are always in motion, and when the moon rays are falling, moonbeams is falling on these waves. Along with the waves, the moonbeam is also floating or shaking, across whose trembling planks are fancies crowd. So across whose trembling planks, again the bridge. Our fancies crowd. Fancies means imagination. Means when we look towards the sea, and when moonbeam is there, when moon is shining on the waves of the ocean, we feel a kind of imagination. The fancies crowd into the realm of mystery and night. So the imagination starts to take its place in our mind into the realm of mystery and night. So this is the realm, this is the kingdom of mystery and night. So at the time of night, when moon rays are there on the sea waves, the sea is floating, we feel a kind of bridge is being made there on the waves, and the realm or the kingdom of mystery is made there at the time of night. So from the world of spirits there descends a bridge of light, and in this way, from the world of spirits, जो एक दूसरी ही दुनिया है, something that is related to some other world. So from the world of spirits there descends, there comes down a bridge of light. So from some unknown world, a bridge of light is made. It comes down from some unknown world, connecting it with this, and this world, this bridge actually connects some unknown world to this physical world. So moon beams create a kind of connection between physical world and the world of spirits, over whose unsteady floor that sways and bends. Over whose unsteady floor. So unsteady means the waves, again we will say the waves are moving, and the bridge that is made over the sea waves, that is also unsteady. So over whose unsteady floor that sways and bends. So this unsteady bridge sways and bends. The bridge is, the floor is unsteady, and that's why the bridge that is made used to sway here and there, and sometimes it bends. Okay, wander our thoughts above the dark abyss, and at that time of darkness, our thoughts wander, our thoughts roam here and there above the dark abyss, means we are living in this world, but while living in this world at the time of night, when we think, when we ponder, okay, we think very deeply about our ancestors, about our loved ones who have left this world. So our thoughts at that time reach the other world, the space. Abyss means the bottomless space, we can say. Okay, so the dark abyss, our thoughts from this world where we are living, our fancy, our imagination reaches to some other world, and we start thinking about our loved ones. So, in short, if we want to recall this poem, we want to just revise this poem, we can say that poet has presented a different perspective regarding the ghost, and this is not actually ghosts, these are the memories. Okay, so here ghosts actually represent two memories, where he says that these are the harmless ghosts. Then in next stanza he says that they haunt each and every house. Then he imagines a kind of feast is going on where so many guests are present there on the table. Okay, and some stranger is there, who that person is not able to see the other spirits who are there. So here poet wants to say that only those persons who are sensitive enough, who feel the presence of their ancestors or their loved ones, only they can feel the presence of these spirits. Then he says that still those ghosts, they have a kind of strong connection with this world. Okay, they stretch their dusty hands towards their property and land. So this simply shows it's not so that they want their hold. It simply suggests that yes, they still, their impact or influence is there in their property, in those houses where they used to live. And then spirit world is always present along with this physical world. Okay, and then he says that in our short little life a kind of balance is maintained with the help of our contradictory attractions and desires. There is always a kind of instinct goes on in us. One instinct says to enjoy the worldly pleasure, other instinct says to aspire for some higher noble kind of things. Okay, then further he says that perturbations means disturbances are always there in our lives. Our soul, our mind is filled with these kinds of perturbations. These disturbances are caused due to our earthly wants and for our higher aspirations. Okay, and these instincts come from the unseen star, means कोई एक अनदेखा संसार है. This is the world of spirits from where we get these instincts. And then he has presented a beautiful imagery where moon sends its moonbeam there on the sea waves, and a kind of floating bridge is made there. And this bridge is trembling because the sea waves are always moving, and they create a kind of mysterious world at the time of night. So finally he says last of all, so from the world of spirits there, so in this way from that world of spirit a bridge is made, and it connects this world to the world of spirit. So here poet wants to say that this physical world always has a strong connection with the world of spirits. Means if our dead ones are not with us, it doesn't mean that we have no connection with them. Still we are connected to our dead ones, our loved ones who have left this world. Okay, so this bridge is the bridge of light. It connects us with our ancestors, with our loved ones. Okay, and the floor of this bridge is unsteady, and this bridge floats from here and there, it sways from here and there, because of course this is a bridge made of moon rays. That's why it floats, it sways here and there. And wander our thoughts above the dark abyss. Abyss means here the bottomless space, means we create our thoughts, and when we think about our ancestors, our thoughts reach some bottomless space. Our thoughts reach some other world. यानी कि हम जब अपने एंसेस्टर्स के बारे में सोचते हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं हम एक ऐसी अनजानी दुनिया की एक इमेजिनेशन करने लगते हैं जिसमें कि हमारे डेड वंस चले गए हैं. So I hope children the poem is clear to you. And if we talk about some main features or the themes of this poem, then we can say this poem is lyrical and comforting. Okay, and then gentle harmless presence of ghosts is there. Then rhyme scheme is AB. Then memory and the past, there is a beautiful description of memories and past. Memory and past, these two things actually symbolize the ghost, or we may say ghosts symbolize our memories or our past. Then inevitability of death, this is also one of the themes of this poem. Inevitability of death means death is unavoidable and every person will have to meet his end. Okay, then power of place. This is also one of the themes, power of place. Power of place, if we say, places holds on to the essence of those who have inhabited them. It means places की भी अपनी एक power है. Means the places where somebody was living at one time, of course that person has left his impact at that place. तो उस place पर भी उस person का impact रहता है और हमेशा के लिए रहता है. Then nature of ghost, again we can say these ghosts are quite harmless. Then last of all, struggle between physical desires and spiritual aspirations. So here poet has presented a kind of struggle between physical desires, means जो हम इस दुनिया में रहते हुए वर्ल्डली प्लेजर्स को लेने की desires करते हैं, and spiritual aspirations. और कहीं ना कहीं पोएट ने हमें ये बताया है कि फिजिकल डिजायर्स और स्पिरिचुअल एस्पिरेशन का जो स्ट्रगल है वही हमारी लाइव्स को बैलेंस में रखता है. So I hope the things are clear. Type yes if the poem is clear to you now. Subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed it right now. So your subscription gives me motivation. Your messages gives me motivation. Okay. So keep watching and all the best for your exam tomorrow. Thank you.